A few species on Earth possess a seemingly enigmatic characteristic. The menstrual cycle is a phenomenon that is unique to a small group of species, and humans are among them. On Earth, only monkeys, apes, bats, humans, and perhaps elephant shrews undergo menstruation among mammals. Despite being a wastage of nutrients and causing physical inconvenience, humans menstruate more frequently than any other animal. The rationale behind this unusual biological process begins with pregnancy. During pregnancy, the body efficiently utilizes its resources to create a suitable environment for the fetus, establishing an internal sanctuary for the mother to nourish her developing child. Pregnancy is undoubtedly impressive in this regard, but that's only one aspect of the story. The other aspect reveals that pregnancy creates a conflict between a mother and her child. Like all living organisms, the human body evolved to propagate its genes. For the mother, this implies that she should endeavor to provide equally for all of her offspring. However, a mother and her fetus do not possess precisely the same genes. The fetus also acquires genes from its father, which can promote their own survival by taking more than their equitable share of resources from the mother. This evolutionary conflict of interests creates a biological tug-of-war between a woman and her unborn child, which occurs inside the womb. The placenta, a fetal organ that links to the mother's blood supply and nurtures the growing fetus, is one of the factors that contributes to this internal struggle. In the majority of mammals, the placenta is restricted behind a maternal cell barrier. This barrier allows the mother to regulate the supply of nutrients to the fetus. However, in humans and a few other species, the placenta infiltrates directly into the mother's circulatory system to access her bloodstream directly. Using its placenta, the fetus releases hormones into the mother's arteries, keeping them open to provide a continuous supply of nutrient-rich blood. A fetus with unrestricted access can produce hormones that elevate the mother's blood sugar, widen her arteries, and raise her blood pressure. While most mammalian mothers can expel or reabsorb embryos if necessary, in humans, once the fetus is linked to the blood supply, severing that connection can lead to hemorrhage. If the fetus develops inadequately or dies, the mother's well-being is jeopardized. As a fetus grows, its continuous demand for resources can lead to extreme exhaustion, elevated blood pressure, and disorders such as diabetes and preeclampsia. Due to these potential hazards, pregnancy is always a significant and at times perilous commitment. Therefore, it is reasonable for the body to meticulously examine embryos to determine which ones are worthwhile undertaking. This is where the role of menstruation becomes evident. The process of pregnancy begins with implantation, in which the embryo attaches itself to the endometrium that lines the uterus. The endometrium evolved to make implantation challenging, ensuring only healthy embryos can thrive. However, in the process, it also favored the most resilient and invasive embryos, resulting in an evolutionary feedback loop. The embryo initiates a complex, intricately timed hormonal exchange that modifies the endometrium to facilitate implantation. What occurs when an embryo does not pass the evaluation? It may still succeed in attaching, or even partially penetrate the endometrium. As it slowly deteriorates, it could expose its mother to infections, while continually releasing hormonal signals that disrupt her tissues. To prevent such a scenario, the body eliminates any embryo that fails to pass the implantation test. Every time ovulation fails to result in a viable pregnancy, the body eliminates any potential risk by shedding the endometrial lining, along with any unfertilized eggs, as well as sick, dying, or dead embryos. The protective process that removes any unfertilized eggs, sick, dying, or dead embryos, is known as menstruation, leading to the period. This unique biological trait, however strange it may seem, has played a crucial role in ensuring the survival and continuation of the human species.